Welcome back to another episode of EEK. Uh, welcome if it's your first time, and stay tuned. We got a bunch of big stuff that's going to be coming over the summer. I'm making an announcement of it at the end of one of the future videos. So I guess you'll just have to watch all the future videos and all the way till the end and to figure out what's going on. But today we are actually, I believe, breaking a record for our channel by
Woo!
not by not doing something from r/no sleep. We're gonna start to branch out more, try to find stories elsewhere. This first story being from creepypasta wiki. Uh it was originally posted in 2012, written by Robokai, Roboky. It's called 12 Minutes. You got any predictions on what it's gonna be?
I think it's some doomsday event is gonna happen of some sort, and like you have 12 minutes until like a meteor hits or like some deadly gas, something goofy like that. I think
Okay,
it's
okay.
gonna
Like a
be
like
in
kind of like a public service announcement
yeah,
type thing.
like a urgent, like almost like a purge or something, like an urgent response to something.
Okay, makes sense, makes sense. All right. Well, with that, we're going to get into it and we'll see if you're correct.
All right.
In the fall of 1987, local news channel WSB TV2 of Atlanta, Georgia, was attempting to fill a scheduling gap in their Sunday morning lineup. After a few solicitations by local business owners, they decided to allow the young Reverend Marley Sachs. Sachs? Do you think that's how you say it?
Sacks, yeah,
Yeah.
sacks.
Okay. They decided to allow the young Reverend Marley Sachs to take the available hour block to do a religiously themed show. It premiered October 18th with little promotion. The show was standard religious fare and consisted of the Reverend sitting in a simple chair, reading passages from the Bible to the camera and discussing their interpretation and significance to our modern day to day life. The show received a reasonable number of viewers and continued to be shown into early December. It was then that the studio began to receive extremely strange complaints from viewers of words of light with the Rev, Marley Sachs. The Rev is crazy. The Rev is good. They're trying to make it a hip religious show.
Yeah, it's like
The
one of those
Rev.
youth pastors with
Yeah.
the acoustic guitar just trying to chill out.
Yeah, dude thinks he's chill.
Man bun for sure.
Marley Sachs. Um, this is from 2012. Was that I feel like that was before Man Buns.
No, that was like LMFAO, Party Rock Anthem.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he was probably I think he was wearing the glasses that the Party Rock Anthem guys always wore.
Shutter,
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
shutter
shutter
glasses.
shades.
100%. He's wearing like
The-
leopard print skinny cargo pants.
oh yeah. But still like the like reverend cloak thing over it. The calls were from women and women only, who vaguely referred to uncomfortable feelings they had at very specific intervals during the program. They described feelings of nausea, back pain, dizziness, and blurred vision. These callers, for no discernible reason, were convinced that it was the viewing of this program that was causing these symptoms. It was later determined after 3 weeks of complaints that these feelings were happening at roughly 12-minute intervals in the course of the program.
Hmm.
The small studio staff checked all recording equipment, both audio and video, and found nothing faulty. When the Reverend was made aware of these incidents, he merely shrugged and stated cryptically that some can't handle the voice of God. What a dickhead. What an asshole. um, the head of the studio, at a loss to explain the cause of these complaints, decided to continue running the program. By February, viewership had dropped sharply, and it was decided to pull the plug on the show. The studio had figured it would be more prudent to spend as much time as possible on the news story that the other two local news networks, abuzz the miscarriage epidemic. Starting sometime in November, the number of healthy pregnant women miscarrying in the Atlanta metropolitan area had reached over 300. The CDC could find no discernible cause for this terrifying occurrence.
What?
That feels like a weird thing to put in here.
Well, I think it has something to do with the pain the women were
I,
feeling.
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm sure, yeah. Interesting.
I have
Starting sometime in November. Yeah, because the program started in October, so it's gotta be.
I have no theories yet.
Okay. The Reverend took the show's cancellation with what could only be described as abject indifference. When informed, he made no protest, merely nodded, almost knowingly. He left the studio after the last episode was filmed without so much as a word and dropped off the face of the earth. No one ever heard from him again, not his former congregation or any member of the church. The studio moved on, filling the slot with an infomercial and continued to concentrate on the miscarriage story. A year and a half later, an intern at the WSB studios discovered the tapes of the Words of Light and began going through them in an attempt to find stock footage for an upcoming piece the station was doing on the impact religion had on the city. The Atlanta incident, as the miscarriage epidemic became known in medical journals, petered out 3 months after the studio canceled Reverend Sachs' show and had already began to fade from the public consciences. As the intern went through the tapes, he accidentally made a disturbing discovery about the footage. While attempting to stop one recording at 10 minutes, 45 seconds, he mistakenly jammed the fast forward button down. While the footage whizzed by, he attempted to pry up the button with a screwdriver. Just as he succeeded, the tape stopped at 32 minutes and 1 second. The intern actually fell out of his chair when he looked up at what was frozen on the screen. The image of a badly decomposed, severed head filling up the entire frame.
Excuse me?
After he collected himself, he moved the film back a few frames, then forward, and realized that his mind was not playing tricks on him. He began going through the rest of the recording and soon discovered that at exactly 12-minute intervals, the image would appear for one frame. There's a picture of
Oh!
it. Yeah, well, we're
Jeez!
gonna put the picture up right here. Yeah,
That's horrible!
isn't that scary? I when I was looking for stories and everything, before I had even read it, I saw the picture and immediately I was like, "Oh, we're doing this one."
It looks like Leatherface,
Yeah, yeah, it's messed up.
but like just the face.
Yeah, because it looks like it's got like I don't know if it's like a cut or a piece of hair or what, but like down the head,
Yeah.
there's like a little like almost question mark shape thing, and the cheeks look like either folded
It's
in
like
or cut.
Jokered. I think it's like
Yeah,
Joker mouth.
yeah,
That is horrible. It's shaped like they had a big double chin too.
yeah. Isn't that scary?
Yes. Okay. I'm locked in.
All right, you got any you know
Yep,
theories yet?
they're cutting off women's heads.
That's got to be it.
That's yeah, that's my theory.
Okay. Thinking it's some practical joke being played on the new guy, he presented to one of the film technicians, ready to be mocked. The technician was just as puzzled as him. No one had touched the footage since the cancellation of the show. After the studio had closed for the night, the intern convinced the tech to help him go through all the tapes of the Words of Light. They discovered that every single episode had this same horrifying anomaly. They also realized that as the show progressed, the image had become more disgusting as maggots began to eat away at the loose flesh and pieces of hair and skin seemed to have fallen off exponentially.
Yo, I want those pictures.
I know,
Not
there's
for
only
me,
the one. Yeah,
not for me.
uh-huh. Yeah.
For someone else.
Uh-huh. That's rich. um the tech made clear to the intern that what they were seeing was technically impossible, since the film itself showed absolutely no signs of splicing, and he himself had been at every filming of the show and knew of no time when this image could have been inserted into the frame. All of this was presented to the studio head, who, fearing some kind of backlash over allowing this to get on the air, ordered all the tapes destroyed. He told the intern and tech that he had no interest in knowing who did it at this point, only that covering their collective asses is all that's important right now. He demanded that they mention this to no one. Well, clearly that worked out because here we are
Yeah.
on the internet. Here we are 12 years after this story was out,
Looking at the head.
and it's on EEK YouTube channel.
Yeah. For all 20 of you to watch.
Oh yeah.
Hope you guys are all freaking out right now.
Yeah, I hope you're digging it. We should just keep the picture of the head on for the entire rest of the
We
video. So everyone has to look at it.
should like AI edit it so our faces look like
Our
that face.
faces turn into it, and then we're just like, yeah, we're just
We
talking.
should make a Snapchat filter.
Gross.
Should
Gross. Um,
put that on a t-shirt.
yeah, that would be really hard actually. That'd be so
New
sick.
new merch dropping Friday. You're never gonna believe what it is.
You have no idea, guys. The tech easily moved on, remembering the incident as a darkly funny personal anecdote. Yeah, that's real hilarious. Wait, hang on. We're not what? This dude saw a picture of a dead head, a decapitated woman's head decomposing and was like, that was silly. What an anecdote that was. What?
He probably thinks they're fucking with him.
No, let's look
Still.
into this guy. No, I don't trust this guy. Because this is the tech. This is the one who was there for all the filming and was like,
Oh,
"Yo, you shouldn't
not
have
the
done that."
intern.
Yeah, this isn't the intern. Yeah,
He's
can we
got
fucking
he's
look
got
into the tech at this point?
he's got something to do with it.
That's wild. The tech easily moved on, remembering the incident as a darkly funny personal anecdote, but the intern wouldn't let it go. He made copies of as many tapes as he could before they were wiped and took them to see if he could find anything else in them that might point to who did this or why they would. That's smart. That's very smart. A week later, he attempted to rope the tech into helping him again, saying that he believed he had discovered something even more disturbing than the images themselves. When the single frames were edited together in chronological order, the head's mouth appeared to be moving as if
Oh,
trying to form
fuck
words.
that.
Oh my god.
That is
Oh, I don't
disgusting.
like that. I do
No.
not like that. Oh my
Oh,
god.
what do you think it's saying?
You think it's something religious? It's got to be something religious. It's on a religious show.
I guess.
Oh,
Hopefully it tells us.
that's messed up. Okay. The tech, fearing for his job, told him to get rid of the copies and not to talk about it again. A week later, police responded to a 911 call made by an elderly woman in one of the Atlanta suburbs at dusk. She had heard horrible noises coming from her next door neighbor's house, where a young couple lived. She told the emergency responder that the wife was pregnant and that she was terrified that something had happened. When the officers arrived on the scene, 20 minutes later, they found no lights on in the windows and the front door ajar. They moved in slowly and made their way into the living room. Inside, they found a young woman, dead, with her abdomen slashed open. The wound was jagged, and a trail of blood led from the body to the couch on the far end of the room. There sat her husband, the studio intern, naked, the corpse of his unborn child at his feet dying. In his hand, he held the rusty piece of metal siding that he used to gut his pregnant wife. The television was on and playing an 18-second loop of silent footage of a decomposing head mouthing some unintelligible words. The story at the police precinct to this day goes that the intern kept saying under his breath over and over again as they led him away, "The light of God calls them."
Ugh.
Oh my God. Well, it was religious. I was right on that aspect.
Certainly.
I'm a real prophet for that one, being able to tell that's what's going on.
I have
I
no
wasn't expecting that ending.
no.
I was gonna say, because I didn't read all this. I started to read it. Usually, how I do this is I start to read them, and if it sounds like it's a good setup at the beginning, I am usually like, all right, I'm in. We're just gonna read the rest of it on video.
Mm-hmm.
I That's out of nowhere. That was the intern too. So do you think it's like
Well, because the
he had to have like it had to have been like he lost his mind to it or something, right?
yeah, the Reverend said that the some can't handle the voice of God.
Yeah,
And he said the light of God calls them. So is this woman God?
I don't
Because
know.
he clearly couldn't handle her voice.
He definitely couldn't handle her voice. I don't know if I would say she's God, but then again, I don't know. Like you said, that does the light of God calls them. I wonder if it's like if it's something that was like just seeing the little snippets of one frame through a TV show, like enough that your brain can probably not even really realize that it was in there.
Mm-hmm.
That obviously is like enough to cause miscarriages. So do you think it's like whatever it was, it's just too much for like one sitting? Because he put it all together because they said that it was like 18 seconds of yeah, an 18-second loop of silent footage of a decomposing head mouthing words. Do you think watching it all at once is like too much and it just makes you like snap and like lose your mind?
I guess I do you think that the women that were having miscarriages were doing something to their kid, like to their bodies, to
I don't
does it
know.
like force you to miscarriage somehow?
I'm not sure because it says it can't be because it says that like it was picked up by like science journals and stuff for
But they
being
said
how
that they couldn't
strange it
explain it.
was. Yeah. But like I feel like if they were doing something to themselves to cause it, then they would be able to find some way. Because I mean, obviously, like this guy cut his wife's stomach open. Like you can tell that,
Hmm. I don't
like force them to.
I don't have a
Hmm.
theory. I don't know if
I don't
it's
really know if you
I don't think they
can have a
provided
theory.
us with enough. I think it's just like a happening, like something that happened in this
Yeah, I think
universe that's fucked up.
it's kind of like because I don't know I like the format where it just it's not necessarily a story like all the other stories that we usually find on No Sleep that
Hmm.
are like you like someone saying like oh this had just happened to me and telling a story like from their perspective and everything.
This
I
is a
kind of like that.
news article, right?
Yeah, this is like a news article.
It's
Yeah,
just objective. I wish you could like dive in and like find like I don't wish this is real because
I
that's
would. Yeah,
not cool. But I wish you could dive
I
into like other. It would be cool if they had a setup where you could go and go through all of the
the
like
footage.
not even the footage, but just like all of the news articles about when this happened. Because this seems like an article that was written a good amount like after this happened. It'd be cool if you could like if they had like fake archival things of like
Yeah, because
this
like hypothetically, I mean, the story
like
was
fake
wrote in
science journals.
2012, and this says it took place in the fall of 1987.
Hmm.
As I will say, one of my favorite things about it's just stories like this in general, but a lot of them are found on creepypasta.
Hmm.
That a lot of them aren't necessarily from that first person perspective. They're kind of from just like a narrating, like explaining that this thing happened, and usually like they have information, but it's never too much information that it's like
Hmm.
not believable. And I feel like that's why as a kid, like is a creep like reading creepypastas, especially being like so long ago on the internet and being an idiot and not really knowing how it worked, that I would
Hmm.
hear shit like this, and my brain would immediately be like, holy fuck, this is real.
Yeah.
Like this has gotta be real. And I would have definitely told all of my friends at school,
It's
like,
almost
yo,
it's like a campfire story.
yeah,
Like my mom's friend told me this like famous to me famous story that I like retold to everybody about this like this stone chair in the woods and you're not supposed to sit on the chair because it will kill you. Like if you sit on it, you're gonna die within the next 5 years or something to that effect.
mm-hmm,
And he said he went in the woods with all of his friends, like two or three of his friends, and everyone sat on it but him because he was too afraid. And he said that one of his friends died in a car accident and the other one died of cancer within like the next 5 years. I think it was just the three of them. And
hmm.
obviously he's not dead.
Yeah,
But like to me, that story was real until I was 18 and I like 16 or something. And I like thought about it
yeah,
and I'm like, that was probably just some BS.
yeah. You were like, that's gotta be real.
But when you're told these like stories with such minimal detail, it's just
Yeah, especially because like a lot of it is like they usually do have something to do with like a like with this they said to burn all the tapes and
mm-hmm,
all that stuff and like to destroy them all. And like a lot of times with stories similar to this, you'll get like some kind of way or reason that you can't find more proof on it, which just to someone who's like unaware, it just makes it seem more real. It makes it feel more real,
mm-hmm,
which I think is great because I feel like that's like a super sick that like feeling or whatever is being like, oh my god, is this real? Like I mean, I wasn't alive for it, but like
Hmm.
that's how the Blair Witch was when it came out.
Yep.
Like no one knowing if it was real or not. And I think that would be so cool to just be like, oh my God, I think I just watched these three teenagers get possessed by a witch.
I wish you could go back. I all the reviews for that movie were always like if you see like the old reviews for it, everyone's like it's
Hmm.
the scariest thing on the planet. And you watch it now and
Yeah,
it's like still scary and important in like horror movie history. It's like
100%.
I'm not afraid of that, dude.
Yeah,
There's so much scarier things out there, but it's that fear of not even the fear, it's just like the fact that you know no, like you don't know enough. It's just this happened. Here it is.
yeah,
Some stories do go too far where you get every little detail. So I feel like at first I was a little mad, not mad, but I was like, I want to know what happened and why. But
yeah,
I
more
think
ending.
after talking, I'm like, yeah, that is kind of cool. It just lingers with you. I'm gonna think
Yeah,
about it
it's
and
just
like,
something that you're like, because you like obviously we know it's not real,
mm-hmm,
but like there's always can be like that thought in the back of your head of like, what if that is real? Like I don't
mm-hmm.
know if that's real or not. That could have been someone writing that
And
as a true story. There's just no way for me to prove it.
there's just no answers ever.
Yeah, you
Like I'll
won't be
never
able to find anything.
any questions I have will never be answered. So it just is what it is.
Yeah, I also
I
love the picture. The picture is
I
horrifying.
I was about to say I bet that they found that photo and were like, I need to write a story about this photo.
Yeah, I feel like because creepypastas are also like definitely known for their pictures. Like everyone knows
Yes.
the picture of Jeff the Killer. Everyone knows the picture
Isn't
of the Russian sleep experiment.
isn't that happened with Jeff the Killer? Is they found the photo and wrote a story about it?
I think so. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure because I know it's really foggy with how that story came out because like no one can really pinpoint as far as
Mm-hmm.
much as I know, no one can really pinpoint the exact author and the exact like first posting of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it was yeah, the picture came first. And I mean even like the Russian sleep experiment guy, he's a Halloween prop.
Yes.
Like as I say, yeah, because I used to have that Halloween prop. It's like called like I think like Spasm, Spazm.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, if you look up Spazm and then Halloween prop, it's the little Russian sleep experiment guy.
That's awesome. Used to
But
have him?
yeah, I used to have him.
That's sick.
I want to get him again.
Walmart.com.
Yeah. But yeah, I would love to know how the picture like what the picture is.
I hope it's not real.
I don't know. The more I'm staring at it, the more I don't like it though, I'll tell you that much. But
Like
I
it could
feel
be
like
real.
it could be. Once again, it could be real and we would never know.
We could probably reverse Google and search it. But I don't want to do that.
Probably. Yeah, no, I'd rather not know.
If anyone in the comments is curious, do it for us because
Hmm.
I have no interest.
I have no interest. Yeah, but that is 12 minutes. Once again by Robo Kai on Creepypasta, and it is from 2012.
Yep.
But yeah, we got there's gonna be more announcements coming up soon for our future videos coming up
a little
for all
a
summer.
little series, if you will.
A silly little surprise series. So yeah, just keep watching if you like this one. We're gonna have more similar to this. I'm gonna try to branch out more into other big famous creepy pastas and everything, get away from No Sleep a little bit for
Mm-hmm.
myself, and go from there.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out with the Rough Ruffman.
Thank you.
What are you doing? I
Okay.
can't even see you.
I'm just
No.
nothing.